Right there, guys. Big shout out to one of you guys that's actually checking out this video. If you are new around here, join the 83, yes, 83 of you guys that's hit that subscribe button. Thank you ever so much. And obviously, if you're new around here, hit that subscribe button as well, along with that bell icon so you'll be in and updated anytime when I do any videos. Now, I just want to say to every one of you guys is I wanted to talk about this the other evening, but I was due to obviously being really busy. I didn't actually give my honest opinion towards this. I want to give you my honest 2 cents. Now, first, before I do get on the main focus, obviously the reason why you tuned in to this very video, all I can say is to every one of you guys that this, right? I want to be honest with you. As you know, for a while, I've been honest for you guys for many years talking about professional wrestling. I came across a clip on TikTok with Asuka's so-called send-off backstage segment, and I want to say this to every one of you guys like this: Asuka deserves better than what she got. Pure and simple. I'll be honest with you. As you know, for a while, I've not watched the product since SummerSlam last year, and all I can say is this: when I was watching the product, the women have been carrying the WWE. Even now, just by the clips alone, I can see them carrying that company. And this is me being honest. You know, that's why they randomly did the women's pay per view last year. You know, and quite honestly, you fast forward to now in May 2026, and the women are still carrying that company. You know, I can't say boo to a goose, as the old saying goes here in the United Kingdom, because I look at the product and I'm thinking that's the only aspect of that company that is worth watching, but I don't want to watch it because it gives me a bad taste in the mouth to get to that point to watch that. Or people could say, oh, you could wait till the next day when that comes available to watch on Netflix and then skip through the bits that you don't want to watch. And I'm like, no, I'm not entertaining that company at all because they don't latch on what's good for them. You know, it's a living proof of what they did to Asuka. You know, she basically walked off. You know, and all I had in my mind was, lo and behold, if you have ever watched the British soap EastEnders, where where a character is leaving the show on good terms with their suitcase, or if they're leaving in a taxi, or some way or form of leaving that soap, if they've left on good terms in a good storyline, but you know for what they're going to be brought back, that's similar to what WWE's been doing as of late. But what I'm saying to you guys is the way she's like walked off. I wish I could edit it into this video, but I don't want a copyright strike, you know. And that's just me being honest. And I feel like she should be treated a lot better than she has, you know, because quite honestly, you gave AJ Styles a send off, even though it was a month late. It was crap. But like I'm saying this, that AJ Styles shouldn't be in the WWE Hall of Fame. He still should be just in the TNA Hall of Fame. He hasn't done that much worthy for the WWE. That's me being honest to you. And this is what I'm gonna say, right? I would literally stick by it. She should have had a better send off than she had. You know, TKO let her down there. You know, because she's one of my favourites that I did enjoy watching in NXT to the main roster. Highly underrated. You know, I could say, yeah, I want to get into Stardom. I want to get into Marigold. You know, Light Sky Ocean. Big shout out to you, my friend, here on YouTube as well as TikTok and obviously my Facebook. That I've been so tempted to get into that, but I don't want to get into it because of the time difference. You know, the time difference is the key when it comes to stuff like this. And I would say this, I'll be honest with you. The only thing I'll technically watch back is AEW because with the pay per views, If I miss it live, I look forward to watching them. You know, I didn't look forward to watching what WWE had to offer. But anyway, I'm not going into that. But I just want to say this, that when I look at the bigger picture of things, that I feel like she should have been a better send off than she got. You know, and that's just me being honest. You know, tell me your thoughts down below, please do, towards Asuka. You know, was she good? Was she bad? Was she awful? Was she your favourite? Was she not your favourite? You know, because at the end of the day, I feel like, I'll be honest with you, I feel like in 20 years' time, people will still be talking about Asuka. And that's a big achievement for this day and age with the WWE. You know, because I feel like they don't appreciate the women as they make out. But one thing is, I can actually say this. I could say this hand on heart. When I'm like, probably, I'm not saying that I can say any match that she's actually had. I would say that she didn't have her best. You can't say that because every match that Asuka actually had was intriguing to watch. And she's going to be like the Alonzo Blaze of the Japanese world that broke the grounds into the likes of the WWE, that opened the doors to Io Sky, opened it into Kairi Sane, even though she's been released twice now. And there's a massive campaign to get her back. I don't know why. It's and the one thing is with Asuka, she was literally one of those groundbreakers. You know, because end of the day, she's opened that door to that Asian community to come into the WWE. Even though I've not watched the product, but she set that bar. And then you had the likes of Shinsuke Nakamura that WWE does not know what to do with. And I'm dread to think with Evil, that is, I don't know his NXT name. I'm dreading to think what they're going to do with the likes of Evil. Are they going to literally, how to put it, waste him, you know? But that's just my honest opinion. Please tell me your thoughts. But the main focus why you've actually joined me today. As you know for well, I support the Brit scene. You know, I love going to Brit shows as and when I can. I don't go all the time. I know I'm going to, hopefully, if there's an Eve show on the Friday in August, end of August when I'm in London, I'm hoping to go to that. I've already got RevPro booked. I've already got Progress Wrestling already booked, and obviously All In's booked. But like I'm saying to you guys, is that I'm really looking forward to going away with Paddy, meeting up with a few friends, Ollie, etc., etc., etc. Obviously, it'll be on my vlog channel. Hopefully, it's going to be in one part. If not, I'm going to be doing it in 3 parts. You know, so it covers pretty much everything. So, what I want to get at today is like the influx of British wrestling in the American scene. I want to say this, it's great to see some aspects towards the British guys being used, right? Even though you had like two British wrestlers recently being released from the WWE. You had Ember Fire, well, formerly known as Kaylee Ray. You had Nikki Cross, that was formerly known as the White Sister, Sister Abigail. Obviously, she went under different Nikki version and so on. She's a different, but you've had those recently released from the WWE. Now, with the influx of British talent coming through yet again, a second wave in the WWE, I'm interested to see what they actually do with certain wrestlers. And then you got Mason Rock, that basically randomly did that moonsault and debuted last week. You know, I'm seeing these by clips. Then you got the likes of Paige going back to the WWE, being wasted as a tag team, which I do not like the look of. Love no money. I don't see the fucking point in bringing her back if you're going to just waste her as a tag team. You know, you've actually got the likes of Liam Slater, that's been obviously working relationship with WWE because of the TNA thing. Look, it benefits WWE once again. And then you've got the likes of Joe Henry that's coming through the ranks. now gone to the main roster. So that's what I mean. You've got the influx on there. Then you've got the influx on the British side of things with Will Ospreay in the likes of AEW. You got the likes of Jamie Hayter in AEW. You got the likes of Alex Windsor in AEW. You know, it's great to see these Brit guys finally flourishing. But one thing that does intrigue me the most of it all, including the likes of Lizzie Rain that's now in WWE NXT, you know, and I want to be honest with you. I really want to be honest with you. What's WWE's plans? Are they actually going to do this NXT Europe they've been teasing a few years ago? Then it fizzled and didn't materialize. Are they aiming towards that sort of reboot of NXT UK? Are they teasing towards something like that coming very, very soon? Because this is how technically, we actually had all these Brit talents that are actually going in the likes of NXT to obviously start that way off. Like when we had the likes of, and then all of a sudden they announced the NXT UK tournament. And okay, fair enough. Then it became a weekly product. Then it kind of fizzled because of COVID, put them out of business. Then it went to BT Studios because I feel like the reason why technically it folded, other than the Speak Art movement, was it probably because of BT selling it to TNT, which is going to be turning what I've been hearing rumours of. That's going to be turning into HBO hit. That's what I mean. It's just mad to think that what is going off in the WWE right now. Don't get me wrong, it does interest me to see the influx of obviously British talent scattered around, obviously over different organisations. And with this John Cena Classic, could this open the door for more Brit scene to come through? Obviously, the likes of NXT. But I want to say this, I didn't mention this on my thoughts and opinions towards the John Cena Classic, other than saying I was hoping there was going to be males versus females, you know, so show that entity. But one thing is, I want to say this, I feel like they should do a massive tournament if it's doing that, including every single roster member you have actually got, you know, and that's including like the tag teams. But the problem is, do them as singles wrestlers. They obviously showboat their talent, you know, go through the whole entire roster that you have actually got, even the ones you don't see on TV often, include them. But obviously, I don't like the stupidest idea that basically they've come up with this. You know, but if you want to showboat what you've actually got, do it properly. You know, but the problem is if they're doing week by, are they doing it all on one show, or they're doing it as a week by week? Because I know it would take forever to do week by week. Because obviously you got to focus on the other storylines with the current champions, etc. like that. But if you do this all on one night and you do small brackets, what's the fucking point? You know, because if you've seen everyone's involved in this, the way you've actually hyped this up, even though it's going to be probably a letdown and it's going to be a whitewash, no pun intended. But all I can say is, I'm hoping it proves me wrong, but I doubt it because I will not be watching that crap. But that's what I mean. I'm just wondering why all of a sudden you took an interest into the UK scene once again to take in our next crop of young talent. When you can't even get Tyler Bate right, you can't get Pete Dunne right. You know, they're surprisingly still under contract. I'm just intrigued to see why all of a sudden you've got the influx towards British talent. Even Noam Dar returned on NXT. That I didn't even realise he was still under contract. That proves how long ago he was gone. So if you're trying to tease away something like this, why all of a sudden now you are showboating these UK talent? when you've literally just released two, probably the strongest women there was on the independent scene. You've really done, I would say, Kaylee Ray a lot hard done by, to be honest, and that's me being honest. Because at the end of the day, I'm waiting for Viper to be released. I'm waiting for that moment to see her being released because I know she's currently out injured. You've already done this to um, Tamaloa or whatever his name was. He was out injured. He was due to come back, and then all of a sudden you've released him. So you could do the same to Viper. Well, Piper never to you, the WWE fan market will know her as. But I'm intrigued to see what actually comes from this. But that's just my thoughts and opinions. Tell me yours down below. But anyway, I'm off. Until next time, guys. Keep on hitting that subscribe button. Keep hitting that bell icon. Until next time. Catch you guys soon.